Hello. Very fancy setup today. This is my December wrap-up video. Where I live, there has been just like ice storms and snow, and no matter what I did, nothing inside my house was going to be as beautiful as this as my backdrop. So here we are. Probably going to fidget quite a bit. This video will include some stuff, like some card walkthroughs and stuff, because I did get some new decks. And I'll do those and insert those, and you'll obviously see them because you're watching this video, which thank you so much for being here. This is my second monthly wrap up. What a doozy. I'm going to run in a similar style that I did last video, talking first about like what happened this month, what was going on, then decks I used, decks that were new to my collection. I didn't back anything on Kickstarter, so I won't talk about that. Yeah, decks that came in. Did I already say that? Yeah, like I got some gifts and some of the Kickstarter things came through, so I will do a little walkthrough of that, and then just wrap up with talking about like what's next. Like, we're entering a new calendar year. I'm not someone who celebrates the new year. I do the lunar new year, which is February 17th. We're moving into the fire horse. A mentor of mine said the other day that she's about to saddle the horse herself and hop on, and gosh, I couldn't agree more. I'm so ready for that energy. And not. It's a weird dichotomy that exists, right? So first, what have I been up to? I've talked about this in some other videos, but I started a class that I have been waiting 2 years for. And by the end of the course, I will be what's called a core pattern practitioner. And I think as that class goes, I will talk more about it. But for now, that's all I'll say is I started this class that I've been so excited about. In the class, the teacher was like, following this work, there'll be no stone left unturned. And that's been true, like almost immediately. I'm just watching my dog over here. Yeah, so it's been a wild last couple months, especially a wild month. Just a lot of breakthroughs, and yeah, it's been a journey. This isn't in order. I don't think. I just don't want to forget things that I realized is not in my notes. There were two like workbooky things that I started working with. One was the teacher of this class, Erin Fogel. I'll try to like link this below. She made an astro workbook for the month, for 2026. And I started looking through that, looking through the transits, just like getting myself ready to enter a new calendar year, like I said before, and it's going to be pivotal. There's so much pivotal astrology. I feel like if you follow astrology, you're hearing this said a lot. So yeah, I started working with that, as well as a practice in anthroposophy, which is like Rudolf Steiner. And it was the 12 Holy Nights, and it starts Christmas Eve and runs through, I think it's like the 2nd of January. I can't remember now, but it's just basically reflecting on each night. Like, it talks about the astrology, and then I was reflecting, or asked to reflect on like last February, and then like what are you calling in for this February, but like tying it into like astrology. So like something off the top of my head was, I remembered that there was one, maybe it was Pisces, and just talking about like materialism and how did I connect with materialism last year, and what does it look like, or what am I calling in for this upcoming year. There were just like all sorts of reflections like that, and yeah, it was good. I wish I would have done it a little bit more. I've just been fucking tired. I've just been tired, and it's requiring me to like look at a screen. I should have ordered just like a hard version of it. Maybe I would have engaged with it more. And I thought about printing it, but it was like a lot. It was 70 pages for 12 days. I just like, whatever. I didn't end up doing it. I'm hoping to engage more with the astro weather calendar, because I printed that one off. It was A, it lasts the whole year, and B, it was 40 pages versus 70. So anyways, I don't want to babble about that too much, but yeah, so those are two like workbooks that I was kind of engaging with this month, like reflecting. I also was doing this practice with some friends of mine, as well as with my partner, with the 12 Holy Nights, we wrote 13 wishes on each, like 13 pieces of paper, and then put them in a bowl or whatever. And then every night we take one of the wishes and burn it. And I don't read it. So by the end of this practice, there'll be one wish left over. And then that's what I'm responsible for in 2026. I'm pretty excited for that. So that's just about to wrap up. I think we have, tonight's the 31st. We'll have to do tonight, tomorrow, and then there'll be one left over. And that's what I'm responsible for. And then all the other wishes and like giving to the angels, I'm giving to the universe to take care of. Yep. So I started the core pattern class. That's how I've been engaging with like the holiday season and like workbooks and stuff and astrology. Um, I waited way too late, but I tried to make my Christmas gifts this year. I like kind of got, I fell into the like, what is it called? Like potted, or there's like sculpted. I kind of fell into some like gimmicky, like Black Friday sale items, and that was kind of like an epic fail. I had all of these plans to make people like these like wall hanging candle burner things, but then I looked it up, and the clay is not, because it's not like fired, it was air dry clay, was not like uh not flammable. Like I think it's flammable or something. I don't know, but whatever. Not only that, but like when I got into the projects I was working on, working with clay is hard. I did it a while ago. Like I used to want to be a I used to want to be a potter, you know, a ceramist, but yeah, I kind of forgot how hard it was. But so that was an epic fail. So making gifts, fail. So and then it was like scattering around trying to get gifts for everyone, which was really, really stressful at first. But then once I got into the groove, it ended up being really fun. I felt really good with what I ended up thinking of and getting for people. So that felt really good. I also got a lot of like really thoughtful, kind gifts. So that was really special. Yeah, so I tried to make gifts. That was an epic fail. Um, Christmas was so hectic and so different. There's just been like changes in my family structure in the last, I've been saying 6 months for like 6 months. It's been a long time now. So my family structure is just like changing. My family wasn't around. And just, I, I had been struggling to like accept the changes that I'm like going through. Like we're all going through changes. I don't know if it's my Taurus moon, but I felt really like I was struggling, or I do tend to struggle with change. If you're a Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, Venus, maybe, like let me know if you experience that too. Um, but yeah, so I felt like I was feeling really emotional about the holidays. And then my sister and her partner went to Europe, and I was watching their cat who ended up getting wicked sick. They had to come home early, and I was like caring for the cat basically 24 hours a day for 4 days. And it was so hectic and so scary. And like that created a lot of stress in like just in me. And I was really like, super anxious, and they were super anxious, and my partner was really anxious because I was freaking out. And then just, yeah, it was just a really hectic Christmas. Um, and I noticed that when I did engage with people, everyone feels like fucking tired, like so tired. I really feel like, again, I've talked about this before. I'm not someone who celebrates the new year, but I'm really feeling like a lot of people are desperate for this shift out of 2025, which has been just exhausting for so many people. What else happened? I got a ton of new plants. A woman on Instagram who like lived kind of near where I used to live was giving away a ton of plants. So I'm going to try to like plug in a video here. I'm just loving the way my house is feeling, like despite all of this hectic energy, that's feeling really homey because of just like the new life I've brought in through plants. I also engaged with a lot of solstice events. So even though Christmas was tricky, I loved solstice. The weekend of the solstice, I went to 2 different women's groups, which were super nourishing. I did tarot, my first tarot event ever. It went so well. It was so beautiful. It was so fun. I can't wait to do more events like that. I didn't know I would love it as much as I did. I feel like I learned a lot. That was super fun. I also got to do a sound bath for a woman who is in hospice. That was another thing that was like, whoa, this is so amazing. It was such a beautiful experience to just be like letting the bowls play me for this person who is between the worlds, you know? I don't really have words to describe it except for it was just such a special experience, and I'm hoping to do more of it and get connected with some death doulas and just anyone else who is, I don't know, connected to that community. I don't know, we'll see. It really sparked something in me and I loved it so much. Um, that was super duper special. Yeah, so I guess I guess that was it for like stuff that happened this month. It was such a busy, crazy month. I am feeling since the holidays, I've had the last couple days to really rest and relax, and that's felt really good. Sorry, I'm gonna move because my butt is freezing. Hopefully I'm still in frame. We'll find out. Yeah, but I've spent the last couple days just basically like in a nest in my house, like resting, and it's felt really, really good. It's what I'm going to continue to do through the month. I'll talk more about that at the end, where when I talk about what's upcoming. But next, I'm going to talk about decks I work with, and I feel like for the beginning of December, I was really into like Marseille style. So I was using like Garden of Eros. What else was I using? Tarot of a Drowning World. Like I have a couple different Marseille style decks, and I was really, really enjoying them. I was watching videos on Marseille because it's not really a style I normally work with, but it was so fun. I really, really enjoyed it. So I did that for a while, and then I was using, again, I'll like talk about these, I'll like flip through them. I used Season of the Witch, the Yule version. I am going to be honest, I loved the Mabon edition of that, and I love the Imbolc one, which I'll move into using through January and February. The Yule one, I don't know. I don't know if it's for me. I might pass it along. I just felt like I thought it would inform my readings more, and it didn't. Not that it didn't, but they're not as intuitive as I want them to be for me personally. And I feel like there's a keyword which I like, but then under the keyword there's like a write up, and to me it's jumbly. It doesn't flow off the tongue. I just do not like that version of that deck. Um, yep. I also used Northern Animal Tarot a lot. I loved that. I did that for readings. I thought those were really that gave like a really rich, nourishing reading. I thought it was great. Like I said before, I had a lot of decks come in and new decks to my collection, so I used those a lot. This is the perfect segue to move into that. So yeah, here are the decks I worked with and the new decks that came into my collection this month. Yeah, it's super fun. A lot of these were Kickstarters that came in, so I didn't order any. These are just stuff that have come in that I had kickstarted a while ago, or I got as gifts, which was so lovely and so kind. So we'll get into that here. Alrighty, so we're gonna start with the decks that I used this month, and then we'll move into the ones that were new to my collection, because that's basically anything that was new towards the end of the month is like what I was using pretty exclusively to get to know it better. While we were still in Sagittarius season, I was using a lot of like Osho Zen and the Color Visions Oracle, which I love. I'm doing a class with Allison, the creator of this deck. That's actually coming in the new year. I think it's January 3rd. I think she's still running a promotion for it if you are at all interested on working with this deck. Yeah, I just love the way like that's fitting for the year. Oops. I just love the way I can use these decks together. And I've talked about this before, that I often use this deck as a way to like pull out in the tarot cards how I worked with. For instance, this isn't a good example. Say I got like orange, I would focus on the color in the card. Like, all right, where is their orange? Okay, how can I really draw something out of this orange part of the card? Like, how is that the focus? I mean, I would also use what the creator indicated for these cards, but that was just a way that I found that I enjoyed working with this. Yeah, so I worked with these quite a bit. I mean, a lot of us know Osho Zen, so I won't go through too much. There's just like a variety of colors. Oops, this is not centered at all. Sorry about that. I just like love working with this deck, and I got this love card a million times, which was super fun. Oh, healing and love. This is so great. Yeah, I just thought these worked really well together. And for whatever reason, I find that they are very, yeah, Sagittarian. I don't know why. Just expansive, maybe. There was just so much interpretation. There was so much I could do with these cards together. Yeah, I don't know. I just loved it. I worked with these cards a lot. There are some keywords for this. Oh, patience with empathy. I don't know. Just working with these both together was super fun. And is something I'll probably revisit again because I loved it so much. Yeah, I wish there was more I could say. I love watching these card flip throughs, and I feel like the people who do this normally have so much to say, and I just don't. It's just fun to work with these. So anyways, this is the Color Visions and Osho Zen. I spent a lot of the beginning of the month working with this. Again, it felt very Sagittarian to me. I also decided to start exploring some different like no, that's not right. Different Marseille style decks. So like I have Usi's Tarot of Eros, Pagan Otherworlds, and I also used, where is it? Tarot of a Drowning World, which is also Marseille style. And I loved using these as just, I would do like 3. This one's a very naughty deck. Let me just move this a little bit. Yeah, I would do like 3 cards and I would like tell a story. And then I would often pull an oracle card. Where is the deck I used? Because I was still really exploring the Field of Stars Oracle. I spent a lot of time, even though I don't think this matches this deck at all. I would use this as like a keyword. So communing, and then I would just, oh, this isn't gonna fit. It's okay. So I'd use this communing with just the messages I would get and kind of like derive from this. I love doing this. I thought this was super fun. It was a fun way to be like, all right, how is this going to show up in my day today? For instance, like how would the 10 of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Hermit all work together? Again, this deck is very naughty. And I would just like see how a story would play out. Like, if you're feeling fulfilled and then you're focused on like how to spread this emotional fulfillment, and it's really like letting this like inner wisdom guide you. See, like, I don't know, I just thought it was super duper fun. I would do this a lot. Again, using like sun and wind. Yeah, so I really loved this. That was fun. I'm making a mess. I'm going to move these. All right, so that was that. I would also use Pagan Otherworlds, which is like such a beautiful deck and so fun to work with. Same idea. I would let a story play out, so I'd often pull 3 every day. Oh, this is very crookey, sorry. Wheel of Fortune, I feel like I pulled so much this month. It felt very accurate. Yeah, it was just a different way. Again, I feel Sagittarian in the sense that like I feel like Sagittarius wants to like learn more and be the expert and expand. And I feel like that happened because I had to study this style because I haven't used this style before. Yeah, so this is really fun. I loved exploring with that. And then finally, Tarot of a Drowning World is the other like Marseille style deck. This deck is gorgeous. That I worked with this month. And would pull 3 and let a story come out. Yeah, I just love it. Yeah, another like really beautiful deck. Something that was unique about this is it feels very spring, summer because of all the flowers, but there was a darkness to it. I don't know, that made it still feel okay for this time of year. Yeah, so that was really fun. I used that. I sometimes found myself using more like darker or quirky decks. For instance, the Carnival at the End of the World is like a pretty quirky deck. I'll only take a couple out. I use this quite a bit. I love this deck. And I can't be sure why I decided to go with this, but it just felt fitting. And I enjoyed this towards the end of the month. And then I talked about like using some darker decks, and I would use the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. Starting with the Three of Swords. And this was really fun. I kind of planned on using this one in some of the events that I did to read cards for, because I was like, oh, this feels wintry, it's dark. I didn't end up using it, to be honest. But I think it would have been okay, but just didn't end up working out. So this was Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot, and that was fun to work with this month. What I did end up doing for clients is using, I don't have the box for this one actually, but it's the Northern Animal Tarot. So I'd use this, and I thought this gave like beautiful, amazing readings with the Season of the Witch, the Yule Oracle. I talked about this in the other portion of this video that I might pass this along. I don't really know. Maybe I'll spend like one more season with it, but I don't know if it's earned its keep. I did end up using it for readings with people, but I didn't always think that it helped me as much as I wanted to. Oh, this is kind of cool. The thing is, they work well together, but yeah, like the Three of Wands with Perseverance. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it'll stay. Yeah, and this was the deck I used for the solstice event, which was really sweet. And again, I think these, I don't know if it's just like, I don't know, there's like a, that's not really true. There's like both a dark and a light balance in both of these that I think works well together. Yeah, I do really love this one. And there was, it's not specifically a winter deck. It really isn't actually, but there's something about it. Maybe it's the color scheme that does feel like winter to me. So I thought this worked really, really well for the readings and was a good companion for the Yule Oracle. Okay, and then before I get into the new decks that came into my collection that I spent a lot of time with, again, I just want to mention the Field of Stars Oracle is something I spent a lot of time with. I don't think I've like released this walkthrough yet, but I've done one already, and this deck is so fun and so beautiful and is bright. It really brightened up readings for me, especially as like, I don't know, I was weepy again this month and I needed some bright colors, and I thought that was really helpful. I used the Listening Oracle quite a bit this month. I find clarity. I got this card so much. I'll put this here for a sec. I use that with Quiet Mystic. I use these together quite a bit. You have made the thing, the sign. This is not centered at all, sorry. If it pleases me, heartbreak falls, self, sowing seeds, harvest season. Yeah, I thought these were super playful, super fun together. I just love the colors. I need the brightness. I'm someone who like can lean into winter, but also needs a little bit of light too. Honor the Truest You with hot sauce. That's super fun. I'm going to end on that. That's awesome. So that was the Listening Oracle and Quiet Mystic. Okay, and keeping on the theme of keeping it colorful and light, I used the Embodied Ecosystem deck. I mean, I say that it's light and bright, and then we get some cards like that. But that was super beautiful and fun to play with the Gaia Lessons of the Earth Oracle. And this pair is actually a dream. Like, are you kidding me? So beautiful. Let's add a couple more cards. Are you kidding? Like, gorgeous together. I can't promise that these are in order. Yeah, and these felt like really grounding. I use these more towards like the middle end of the month where like planets and like Mars and Venus started moving into Capricorn. Oh, I love the palm plant. Yeah, and these just I felt held by this, which was super sweet. Do one more. Let's find an upright one. Ooh, look at that. That's super fun. They're so similar. Yeah. I love these together. Super grounding. I loved when things started moving into Capricorn. I feel like I like Sag season. It's a lot of connecting and sweetness, but I also was ready for, I don't know, some like long vision, more groundedness of Capricorn. In terms of the last deck that I worked with this month is the Playful Heart Tarot. And again, this was, I did all the new decks I'm about to show you are other ones I worked with, but yeah, I love this deck. Again, another like playful, light energy. Yeah, I have two of this deck, honestly, because if anything happens to one, I want to make sure I have the other one. It's definitely in my top 5 favorite decks. I have a Leo stellium. I feel like I just like tend towards more playful, colorful things. Yeah, super sweet. Not that these go well together, but I paired it with, so we're moving into like new deck territory, but also decks that I use, so I'll keep that there for a minute. Because my friend Fire came in, and the art style is not similar in any way, but I really loved the colorfulness of both these decks together. Yes, very busy, very loud, but I didn't really care because it's just so bright and fun. I've been using the My Friend Fire for my draws on Instagram. They've been a hit. People love them. It's because they're just light. I mean, light is relative. I think that the messages are strong, but that it comes in like a gentle way. And I think that's why I love the Playful Heart Tarot. Yeah, I love these together. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this one. Yeah, so like I said, I got the My Friend Fire, and this has been super fun to play with. I have a walkthrough of this that's going to come out soon. I did get 2 editions of it to figure out which cardstock I like the most, and I'm going to go all into this in the other video. I didn't decide. I don't know which ones I like the most. You'll have to help me decide. You have to watch that walkthrough when it comes out. So yeah, these came in. I've been playing with these. The Rose Season Tarot from the Talisma Studios came in, and this has been a heavy hitter. I've been using this one a lot. Awakening, King of Coins. I also have a walkthrough with this that I will release in a few days, hopefully. I love this. I love collage style anyways. And this deck worked really well for more of the, it's not dark at all. It's not like very rosy, very lovey, but also just has the depth. Sometimes not that the like Playful Heart and the My Friend Fire don't have depth, but this is just different. These one just amazing. The guidebook's amazing. I loved this deck. I'm really excited for this walkthrough to come out. It's like a deck that I like want to gift one of my best friends, you know. So beautiful. So that was really fun. That was Rose Season Tarot. That was new to my collection. It was a Kickstarter. And it's one of my favorite kind of Kickstarters because I backed it and it was back in my hands like as soon as the campaign finished. There are like 3 decks that I'm waiting on that's been like about a year. But you know, that's what happens when you do Kickstarter. The last deck in my collection that came in this month, and I just finished the walkthrough and edit of this, is the Yukika Tarot. So I'm not going to do this too much because I'm going to release this walkthrough pretty much in the next day or 2. But this deck is unbelievable. So fun. I haven't gotten to work with it a lot. It literally came in the mail yesterday, so it's just gorgeous. I am so excited to spend more time with this. I'll spend a lot of time with this probably through January. Yep, love. This Yukika Tarot. I have 2 more. One is mass market. This one is indie. This one is for my sister Lily. Thank you, Lily. This one's super duper sweet. It's the Low Scarabeo brand. I have a couple decks from them, and it's really sweet. The Wicked Moon Tarot, just like really quirky art style, and it follows this character through her journey. And of course, she's not in any of these. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's like this little witch. It's my understanding that you follow her through her journey. There she is again. And this one was super light and playful again. One of the lighter ones that I was using. I like, oh, it's just, yeah, good story. Beautiful artwork. I'll spend more time with this through the month of January as well. It's not a wintry deck. It feels like a fall deck to me for some reason. But I think it'll work well for this, for like a study over the next couple weeks. Yep, loved that. And then finally, our final deck. Runners of the Sun. It's a collage deck. Again, I love collage decks, so this is perfect. This was a gift for Christmas from my friend Emily, and I love it. I had eyeballed it a while ago on some like tarot site. I can't remember which one, but I didn't have enough, like I didn't want enough things on the website to get free shipping, and I often like hold off until I get free shipping when I want enough, which is hilarious. But yeah, this is super fun. I used this with the Rose Season Tarot. I've honestly used it with My Friend Fire. Somehow it's like busy, but it works really well with a number of decks that I have. Yeah, so that is another one that I'll probably spend some time with into the new year. And so those are all the decks I worked with, but I just wanted to mention that in terms of what else I'll use moving into the new year, I'll probably use this Imbolc one for a little bit. And I mentioned before, I didn't love the Yule one, but the Imbolc one is different. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes these on the Yule one, I'm like, what does that even mean? It's like gibberish. But these are sweet. Share and commune with the ones who mean the most to you. Break bread with the spirit of rosemary, which will call for healing and mend. See, that makes sense to me. Sacred space, Bridget. Yeah, maybe these will be like altar cards. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to spend some time with this deck along with some of the new ones I have. I did just do a walkthrough. I just talked about this of the Yukika Tarot. And I think honestly, like these two together are going to be a dream. these are going to be really fun. Yeah, so that is the decks that I have gotten into my collection, the ones I use this month, and these are the ones that I am going to use into January. So thanks so much for watching this portion of the video. Okay, so those are the decks. What else did I do? I feel like I was gung-ho about reading in November, and I had such a different experience in December. I just didn't want to. And I'll get into a bigger talk about that at the end when I talk about what's next. In November, I'd finished Handmaid's Tale and loved it. I was like voraciously reading through that. And then I switched to the second one. I just like couldn't get into it. And maybe I'll revisit it in January. I'm about to enter, I don't say I'm about to. I would say in March, I'm going to enter a period of time where I spend a lot of time in my car. My job is not close to me and I work a lot. So I'll have plenty of time to listen to books and maybe I'll revisit it then. But for now, I just like couldn't get into, I think it's The Testament by Margaret Atwood. I'm like in terms of like paper books, I've been passing out at night, so I haven't been reading as much, but I'm still reading the Third Eye book that I'd started in at the end of November. I've also been like dabbling, listening into The Wound is the Medicine, I think it's called. I'll like put it here. And also Tara Brach's Radical Acceptance is like another book I like hop in and out of, and that's here. I don't have anything to say about them, to be honest. I'm just didn't really do a lot of reading this month, which is fine by me. Yeah. So I'm coming to the end of my video. I hope that this is a shorter one than last time. And this is what's next. What's next for me looks like continued rest. I can tell that I'm just like still soul tired. And I think that a lot of people are. And I'm very fortunate that the way that my work, like my job, what brings me the most money right now to be able to pay my bills, is seasonal. So it runs from like March to July. And so I'm in a resting phase. And typically I wouldn't let myself rest, but I'm really leaning into it right now. I'm sleeping a ton. I'm saying no to plans more. And I'm going to continue to do that through, honestly, till March, as much as I can, as much as I possibly can. I do fill in at Lifeway's Waldorf School, and I have a couple shifts in January. But other than that, I'm like going to lay low. I think I have some body work engagements that I'll do, which I'm pretty excited about. I love giving and receiving energy work, body work, and I'm hoping that as I continue to rest up, that I keep having the energy and the vivaciousness that I do to be able to continue to do that, because I like doing it, So I'll do that more. I will continue to work on my core pattern course, and how that unfolds. And that is another thing that's really requiring me to spend a lot of time going inwards, right? So I'm heeding that call. I'm slowing down. I'm listening more. I'm trying to meditate more. It's like surprisingly hard for me. It's hard for a lot of people, but I'm super spiritual. So you would think that it's something I engage with more often, more regularly, and for longer. And I just don't. I've been really distracted. So I'm hoping to really focus on that more this month. I am really doing a heavy emphasis on digital minimalism. I feel like I'm hearing it from quite a few people where we're just fucking sick of our phones. We're sick of the algorithm. The AI bubble is popping, on its way to popping. We don't know what's real or fake anymore. And we're just over it. And it's exhausting. And I'm okay. I think I'm okay with leaning into being bored more often, yeah. So what this looks like for me is hopefully I'm going to really minimalize my time on YouTube. I'm going to rein it back on the videos I'm making for this, which I feel I've had mixed feelings about. I love this. I love doing this. It feels kind of like a vlog for me. I can't be the only one that thinks about like, I want my work to be impactful and I'm not sure how it's landing, and that's okay. I just need to keep, anyways, like with the digital minimalism, continuing to rethink, like, what are my priorities? What is my point? Why am I doing this? Yeah, so more focus on that. less time on my phone, less time on YouTube, less time texting, more time creating. Like I will continue to work. I bought a ton of that like potted pottery stuff. I want to make charms and like do fun things. So, um, yeah, be creative. I'll spend more time doing that, hopefully. And then finally, I want to spend more time, more focused on in-person connecting. I do a lot of like Google Meets, which I love. I have friends. If you're watching this, I love you guys. I have friends across the world that I met from a conference in 2025 that I love and I meet up with once a week. But other than that, I want to spend more time connecting with people in person to do energy work, to do tarot, to do astrology. So I'm really gonna do spend more time focusing on like letting people know I love you, I miss you, I want to spend time with you. I don't want to be on my phone. So how can we just like cut out all this like texting, small talk, and spend more time in person? And we'll see how that goes. Like people are busy and might not have time for that. And if people are as tired as me, they might not have the energy for that. I might not have the energy for that. But yeah, I think I'm mostly saying this for my own accountability too. Is like I really want to scale back the time I'm spending on my device. It's exhausting me. I'm like bored of it. I like get out of my app and then get right back in it. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And yeah, I just really want to change my relationship with this device, you know? So this tool, it's been a tool, but also I've like become really reliant and hate to be bored. And I'm always like, what decks do people have? And yeah, I want to spend more time with the decks I have instead of like, you know, wondering which other ones I should order to have in my collection. So and maybe that's something else I'll do is like pare down my collection. Who knows? I have like over 100 decks now and it seems excessive. So I'll spend more time in nature. Sorry, nature. Yeah, I'll spend more time in nature. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for what's next. I'm excited to rest. I'm excited for digital minimalism. I'm excited to work with my deck still. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks so much for being here. How are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah. I hope if you're someone in my life and you're watching this, that we get to spend more time together. My dog's coming. It's time. And that, yeah. Hi. And then we get more peace in 2026. We'll see. Thanks so much. I'll see you on the other side.